Just want to show off a little trick here. If you load in a specific ammunition into the grenade launcher, you can swap them out anytime you like. In the older Resident Evil games, you couldn't do that. I am so glad they fixed that. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Resident Evil 3. In the last episode, we managed to get the machine oil and a special fuse for the cable car, and now it's time to finish up any last-minute business at the beginning of Raccoon City. Which means a lot of backtracking. Of course it does. Thankfully, we don't have to go too far. There is one area we're going to stop at before we get there, because we do need to go back to the very beginning of the game. There's a good reason why. But before we get there, we need to use the wrench one more time, because there's an area that's been closed off up until now. Do I want to take those? Nah, I'll leave them there. Back around this section where you see Capcom's name up there, we can finally get the hose! It's only fixed on there with a few bolts. Using that wrench, we can finally get rid of them and take the hose. What on earth do we need the hose for? Well, it's a good question. Resident Evil games are really good about you picking up random item A and using it on place B. Might not have any significance at the very beginning, but it'll make sense eventually. Honestly, I think that goes with all survival horror. This section right here. Do not blow up that barrel if you did not fight Nemesis at the power plant. Keep that one in mind. If you're currently playing along with me, then by all means, kill those bugs. And you'll see why later on. Don't even worry about these dogs. They are not a threat to you. But we're getting up to the section right here where we need to use the hose. The only hint you had to this was the dripping water from this hose, or this hydrant here. That's it. There was no, like, cutscene showing you that this was here. It probably should have been obvious by the, the water dripping down. It's got a big red light. Attract to the shiny thing. This is where you use the hose, and then you just get Jill just putting out the fire. Boom, it's completely gone. And now we can move on to a completely new spot. And this spot has 2 really good items in it. Not weapons, but for advancement in the story. I don't know if you can see it from here. Look at that zombie in the window. He's just minding his own business. Not doing anything. I don't know why he's there. I honestly have no idea why that zombie is just in that random building. He doesn't do anything, but, he's just minding his own business. Here's the first item you will need. Do not forget this crank. It is very important. And there will be one of the 2 bug types. It's really bad if you get the brain suckers, because they are tougher. There's an explosion there on the right wall, just in case you want to conserve some ammo, but let's see if I can get through. Yes! Got through without having to kill it. It'll probably attack me on the way out, but whatever. Wait!
What did you do?
I had no choice. He was about to turn into a zombie. It would have been a threat, so I eliminated it.
But he was still conscious, wasn't he?
He was as good as dead. And it took fewer bullets to kill him now than it would have if he had transformed.
He was about to turn into a zombie. Bullshit!
Now, I'm busy.
Yeah, busy. Right. Nikolai. Gotta keep an eye on him. I really like the puzzle we're about to get into here. It's actually really clever. There isn't much to it, but I like it all the same. In here is the chemicals storage. We need to get something in there, but we can't get it because we don't know the password. Here's where the fun part comes in. How do you find the password for this thing? Because if you go over to this special computer where you can input a password to unlock that door, Where the hell do you find the password? Here's what I like about it. Right there on the desk is your instructions on how to solve the puzzle. Basically, what this is going to tell you is the password changes daily. But the thing you want to look out for is what is currently being shipped to the chemicals storage. So whatever's hot right now, whatever the big chemical is in Raccoon City, that's the password. The new medication, I guess I should say, not the big chemical, that makes it sound horrible. No, the new medication. When it's shipped, that's the password. How do you find out the new medication? You actually watch a commercial. Escape to ecstasy, now with AquaCure. Brought to you by the Umbrella Corporation. That's your password. That can be one of 3 different types of medication. You can get SafeSprin, Adravil, or AquaCure. I just happened to get AquaCure in here. I know somebody in the very first episode guessed what medication I would get, and I hope they pick AquaCure. I almost want to go back and check. And I will say, every time you reset your game, that medication will change. But if you go back and watch the TV again, it won't change. So it's not like you can only see it once and then you have to remember how to spell it. Keep an eye on that there. And that. Whenever you see valves on pipes that are smoking, you can actually use those. How you can use them, well, I'll show you here in a bit. The only thing we're here for is the oil additive. We're going to add that to the oil that we got for the cart and get ready to go. This is kind of a jerk move on Capcom's part. They give you a huge horde of zombies to deal with. But thankfully, you have 2 valves to shoot in order to hit them with hot steam and kill them. I got really lucky with that, because every other time I've tried this, the valve killed like 1 zombie. And you're not out of the woods yet, because in here you have a lot more zombies to deal with. There are actually, I think, 2 to my left, 2 of them behind me, and 2 in front of me, and that one ran. Of course it did. And there's one right here by the door. So you want to get out of there as soon as possible. Don't even go check to where Nikolai was and that other body. He's not there anymore. Oh, I knew it. I knew he was gonna get me. And surprisingly, I'm still on fine. I think if I can hit one more time, I won't be so fine anymore. In fact, I might be on orange caution. Here's a theory I had when playing through this. I thought that zombie was actually going to be gone after they broke through. And he's still there. He's just sitting there doing nothing. The next few minutes we'll be traveling back to the beginning of Raccoon City. And I want to bring something up. Recently, Capcom announced they are remaking Resident Evil 2. I said in my Resident Evil 2 Let's Play that it was the game that was in most dire need of a remake. And it's finally getting it. I absolutely can't believe that Resident Evil 2 is getting a remake. That is, like, impossible, but it's happening. Now, everybody started wondering, can you also do Nemesis? If they announced that they were remaking Nemesis alongside Resident Evil 2, let's say, in a perfect world, they bundled them together, oh my god! I would fanboy the hell out, because I would love to see what they can do with the Nemesis AI with this brand new technology. It would be legitimately terrifying, just like it is in this game, but like 10 times more, to see a next-gen Nemesis running around doing whatever he wants. Oh god, that would make it impossible. But here's the brand new thing. Getting the crank that we just got, use it on this place, and you get three whole containers of regular grenade rounds. That's 6 apiece. You were getting 18 grenade rounds just for picking up some random crank. And it's out of your inventory, by the way, so it doesn't take up space. I love how that crow's puddle of blood is just floating in midair on top of that box. But back to what I was saying, they could do so much with these new remakes, because they actually asked, well, how would you want it done? And everybody said, Resident Evil Remake Remastered style. So, fixed camera angles, just like the old version. Update the graphics, update the puzzles, update everything, make it all nice and pretty, but keep it old-style Resident Evil. And I agree with that, because that's part of the fun, at least in my opinion, for 2 and 3, and just the older Resident Evils in general, not being able to see. That sounds annoying to most people, but to me it actually, I think, adds to the tension, because you don't know what's in a room until you either change the camera angle or auto-aim to find out if there's something shambling your way. So I think it's brilliant. It is kind of annoying sometimes, but it's done well in the later games like 2 and 3, which I think are so going to be worth the wait. I mean, Resident Evil 2 Remake I've been waiting for years, ever since I played the original. And just to see it in shiny new HD, updated for the new generation, that is going to be awesome! But I'm done fanboying. Perfect timing, too. Do you remember this place? Do you remember that guy? Well, that guy ain't here no more. He's kinda... he's seen better days. And if I recall, he said something very concrete the last time we met him. I'm never leaving this place. Never! Well, he's a dirty liar. Look what happens when you leave your safe haven, sir. Ooh, now I'm on orange caution. Yep, so the guy at the beginning of the game did die. But this means his container's open. And what did he leave us? Well, he left us the best prize ever. 2 of each gunpowder. A and B. That is perfect. Oh, that's amazing. Because now I can put together the last C I need to make freeze rounds. Just to show those off. And inside you actually get a special log from him, from Dairo, saying how he was going to be the next big thing, the big rider that everybody would want to come see in Raccoon City. But then the zombies happened. That seems to be like the story of what every story is leading up to that you find here in Raccoon City. It's like, oh yeah, my day was going fine until zombies happened. Cut down before his prime. He could have been something great. Well, Dairo, rest in peace, my friend. Oh, this is going to be so nice. We have so much grenade launcher ammo. We probably won't need any more for the rest of the game. And I love the little added detail that Jill is still looking over here, as if there's still a zombie left. And yes, there is. Going through this, my first time, I've actually had to redo this episode. But going through this the first time, I just ran straight into that zombie, didn't even notice the little visual hints. So if anything, a remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3 will add to that. I am so ecstatic to see what they do with remaking these old games. They so need it. Let's get mixing. Mixing together the A and B to get a C, another A and B to get a C, mixing together a C and C, mix that with the drawing a blank here, with the ammo maker, will get you the freeze rounds. Freeze rounds, think of them as like a slowing, just like a slow effect on enemies. It will slow them down, it will also damage them. Not the best round in my opinion, this just personally from me using it. I still think acid rounds and flame rounds are so much better when dealing damage. If you need to use freeze rounds to get around something, just like to escape, by all means use them. They are so good for that. It also helps in boss fights if the boss is gaining on you. Hit him once with a freeze round, he's gonna go half as fast. So it definitely helps in certain situations, but just going around regularly, not so much. what I'm going to do now, I'm going to meet you back around where we need to be for the next big segment to happen, because a lot of stuff is going to start happening now that we have everything for the cable car. So I will meet you back later in Raccoon City. At this point of the game, if you did not fight Nemesis at the power plant, be ready for a fight. In fact, I would suggest immediately running into this save room, saving, and getting ready for war. Yeah, Nemesis knows you're getting close to moving on with the game. He didn't like that very much. This is a pretty good stopping point. Like I said, a lot is going to start happening. And it triggered as soon as we got that last item. If I were to skip those grenade launcher rounds and immediately went back the way I came, stuff would immediately start happening. The game knows that I'm getting far enough ahead. Let's look at the alternate scene. This is a result of not fighting Nemesis at the power plant. Out of nowhere, he appears to attack you. And that's just heading through that area. If you pass that fire hydrant, he's coming after you. There is a strategy for this, and I would actually suggest forcing him to fire a rocket. Because at this point, he's only got like 2 to 3 rockets left. As soon as you get rid of those, he's going to throw the rocket launcher away and then directly go to punching you. Well, actually, I think he shot there. But the main strategy for this one is either lead him into that area where I was just at with the dogs, or right here. Okay, there he is. I was waiting for him to show up. Right here is a very good spot for you to get him. For one, you have multiple angles to run around him, especially if he's going to start hitting you. You also have corners that he can get caught on. That's probably the best part. You could still hit him. You also have a free barrel, which does so much damage, especially at close range. So take advantage of the corners, take advantage of the barrel. This is why I said save it. And also the bugs won't be here because they know to get out of Nemesis' way. This is something you don't want to happen, though. Getting hit in the back with a rocket leaves you wide open for an attack. That is probably the biggest mistake I made here, and spoiler alert, this run didn't go well. And there's a good example of him dodging grenade launcher rounds. That is so unfair. Oh, this run went really badly. I didn't come prepared. So, I'll stay quiet. Next time on Resident Evil 3, we're going to go towards the cable car. We're going to get that thing running. I will see you guys next time, and enjoy this terrible fight.